Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a faux stepper card. So this is a card now which is quite common, the stepper card, but it involves trimming from dots to dots and things like that, and the measurements can get a bit tricky. So this is a really nice easy hack for that, as there's no trimming on the insides at all. It's just cut out and score. In this example, which you might have seen on Facebook, is using the Gnome Valentines from Nitwit, which is one of the newest collections. We had a Christmas one and a gnome, a Valentine one now. So this was my original one, and I'm going to make another one, but this time I'm going to make a masculine one using the coastal one, which is a more nautical themed one, which you can see here. So to make the card, you'll need 2 sheets of cardstock and then your papers and toppers that you wish. So we're going to start off by making the main base. So I'm going to just zoom out a little bit to get it all in. And we're going to cut a piece 7 by 9.5. So let's do the 9.5 first. I'm using some nice navy cardstock today rather than black or white because it just goes with that nautical theme. So that's my 7 by 9.5. And then I want a piece which is 3.5 by 10. So this will make a final card which is 5 by 7, which is one of my favourite sizes. So it'll just fit into a standard envelope. So here we are. We've got our 2 pieces of cardstock. So we just grab our trimmer and I'm going to place it with the 9.5 along the top. I'm going to score at 3.25, six and a half, and 8. Now this is where your normal stepper, you would start marking here and making cuts down here and extra score lines across here. This method just deletes all of that. That's much easier. So this is going to be our stepper bit, and it's a 5 by 7 card, so it's going to be 5 tall, so we'll just score at 5. The width of this can be altered easily. I've just gone for 3.5, but if you wanted a wider one or a slimmer one, that's fine. It's just the height. As long as you keep it at 10 with a score at 5, you'll fit your 5 by 7. So let's just fold and score each of these. So with this one, you can see we've got that 3.25 and 3/4 pieces here, and then our 1.5 and 1.5. So the first one we're going to do a mountain, then the second one a valley, and the third one a mountain. And you'll end up then with your short step and the tall step. So all nice simple measurements, nothing too complicated. But the one thing you do want to do is you want to decorate this base before attaching our stepper piece. So that's all I do when I decorate, is I take the size of that rectangle, and it's 7 inches wide, so I'm going to make a 6 3/4, just 1/4 of an inch less. And the height, is 3.25, wasn't it? Yep, 3.25, so we're going to do it a 3-inch one. So I went through my coastal kit, and I just looked for a couple of patterned papers I quite liked. So I kept the navy theme and went for the stripe to bring in a bit of the red. Now, when I use my digis, sometimes you get a little bit of feathering. So I just take some black distress ink. I could have used a navy one, I suppose, today, but the black was at hand. I'm just going to go around the edge, and that'll just eliminate that white core, that white edge from my paper. And it'll just help tie everything in too. So this piece was 6 3/4 inches wide by 1 1/4 tall. Again, I could have printed 2 of these, I suppose, or cut 2 of these. I could have put one there, but let's save our papers. I'm just using some glue, not too much glue. Let's just center that. Let's bring in my Teflon tool. And then the thin strip across the bottom. So that's our main card base done. And the great thing about this faux stepper is, if you like a center stepper, you can make it. If you like a left-hand stepper, you can do that. If you like it on the edge, you can do that. You can put it on the right, anywhere you want now along this bit. So if you're one who gets confused with all the measurements, literally this can be any style stepper you want without the need for remembering a different measurement, a different score line of everything. So let's go. We did a left-hand stepper here. This time I could do a central stepper. So I've made a topper to go on there. And as I said, when I was cutting and scoring this piece, this could be any width you want. It's the height which you can't change, because otherwise it's not going to fold properly. But the width, anything you want. So I did it 3.5. I felt like that fitted then these toppers from the coastal kit. This background, the journal card, which made this topper really easy to make. So I just had the background, put on the lighthouse, put on this gull on the posts here. So all the journals in the Nitwit kit will fit quite nicely into that sort of dimension. There we go. So let's glue that on. Now, because this was a digi kit, I could have done copy and paste and printed off another lighthouse exactly the same size. So if I wanted to do some decoupaging, that could have been an idea as well. And it is actually one I did on this one. You can see the hands are decoupaged up. I haven't done it this time just to keep the video a little bit shorter. I've also got one of the little bits, which is one of the sentiments from the kit. So they all ties in. And this I did fussy cut out. So when we look at it, I have got a little bit of white. So when we take our black distress ink, it sort of finishes off our fussy cutting. So if you're not a good neat cutter like me, or you're trying to do it quite quickly, it's a great way to hide your bits. And I've also got one of the gulls as well. So I'm not going to go all the way around the gull, just add a bit of shadow around the tail and the wings. I'm not too worried about getting in all those bits. Here we go. So my ink can go away. So when I was making my original, rather than measuring like that, I just went by my images and what fitted where. So make sure you don't go past the ends here, otherwise it won't fit in your envelope. But you can go higher up here. So I could put him there, and I could put my sentiment up there. Or equally, I could just stick to what I did with that, my first one. Have it there. Have a sentiment there, which I quite like. And then he can fly up above. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. Actually, I'm going to glue this down first. Now, I'm not going to apply glue to the top of my sentiment because it's going to overhang here. So let's just put it down there. Now I'm going to glue this now. Now I don't want to go more than 1.5 inches, isn't it, up? So I'm going to keep my glue to the bottom of my topper. I'm going to tuck this behind as I bring it over. And I'm just going to line up this bottom with the bottom of my card base. There we go. And then on the back, I can come up to about 3 inches here, isn't it? Let's go, we've got 3.25. So if I come up about 3 inches with the glue, here's my 3-inch mark. And bring it down. And hold it. So there we go. We've got our faux stepper all done. Now I could have put this on some foam pads. Look at that, I probably would have. But let's just add some onto our gull. So let's just cut them a little bit smaller. So let's have a look. We just want it under his wings and down his tail. Let's just have a little bit more along his body. Make sure his wing doesn't come. Things can go under this, but what you don't want to do is, if I bring in this one, you don't want to be bringing anything underneath, but also above that back line there, because if you do, it's not going to go at that angle. It's going to try and come back along this, and it's going to crush. So you can tuck something underneath this stepper up to your main base here. Okay, but don't glue anything which is above that, otherwise it is going to catch here. Okay. And there we have it. A nice, simple way of creating that stepper look, but without any of the trimmers where you've got to cut down the center from a point to a point. I think it's nice, easy measurements, nice 5x7, so it's okay for postage. and can be made for anything. So we've got a nice Valentine one, we've got a masculine one. So same idea, same measurements, but totally different looks. So it's over to you now, guys. Looking forward to seeing what you make. And if you do have a go, please head over to Facebook and type in paper crafting with Paul, or have a look in the description below and I'll add a link, and we've got the Facebook group where you can share your versions of any of the cards or albums I've made. So I really enjoy seeing what you make with my tutorials. And as always, if you haven't yet, please give me hit that subscribe button for me and click that thumbs up. It really does help the channel, and I really like reading your comments as well. So please write what you think of these cards down below. So there we go. Can't wait to see yours. Enjoy, and see you all again soon.